Welcome to this series of lectures on discrete time Fourier transform. So far we have seen the introduction to discrete time Fourier transform, which is a transform used for discrete time aperiodic signals. After that we had seen what are the different properties of discrete time Fourier transform. After discussion of different properties, now let us try to solve some numericals on discrete time Fourier transform. Now let us see how we can get the Fourier discrete time Fourier transform of the most fundamental signal, that is del of n. Del of n is an impulse signal. So if you see this impulse signal, it is a discrete time aperiodic signal. So normally this DTFT is used for discrete time aperiodic signals. Okay. So now if I want to find out the discrete time Fourier transform of this signal, we know that del of n is equal to 1 at n equal to 0. So del of n is equal to 1 at n equal to 0. So this is my n here. Okay, the time index n. So only at 0 it is equal to 1. Okay, so now if you see in this equation here, this n will tending from minus infinity to infinity. So this signal exists only at n equal to 0. So it exists only at n equal to 0. So if you put n equal to 0 here, you will get it 1. So if you put 0 here, if you put 0, and del of 0 is equal to 1, and e raised to 0 is 1. Anything raised to 0 is 1. So the answer is 1. That means the discrete time Fourier transform of del of n is equal to 1. Okay. So the frequency domain representation, the physical interpretation of this result is that the frequency domain representation of del of n will contain all the frequency components since it is 1. That means the del of n is such a signal which will have the frequency components of all the signal frequencies from 0 to infinity. Now let us try to find out the Fourier transform or the discrete time Fourier transform of u of n. One thing you observe that when we talk about the Fourier transform, it can be for continuous time signals and discrete time signals. But here we are studying the discrete time Fourier transform. So we are using only the discrete time signals. So u of n signal is again another basic type of signal. Now this is a discrete time aperiodic signal. Let us try to find out the Fourier transform or discrete time Fourier transform. So when we substitute here del of u of n, we know that u of n exists only from 0 to infinity. So the summation which was from minus infinity to infinity, it will now change from 0 to infinity. And we know that from 0 to infinity, the value of u of n is 1. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and so on. For all these values, okay, if you go up to infinity, this is 1. So we can substitute here u of n is equal to 1 from 0 to infinity. Now how to solve this formula? This we can solve by the summation formula. So this formula is summation n equal to 0 to infinity a raised to n. So where a is equal to e raised to minus j omega. So 1 upon, so this is given by the formula 1 upon 1 minus a. So 1 upon 1 minus a, this summation. So we have seen already earlier in Z transform also this result. So we can use this result directly. So I can write this summation equation as 1 upon 1 minus a. So a is e raised to minus j omega. So this is my result. So we see that the discrete time Fourier representation, the frequency domain representation of u of n is 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus j omega. Now one thing, important thing to summarize here is, or to remember is, this omega is a frequency term and it is continuous. That's why our spectra of the discrete time signal is continuous. So this is important thing, that is the signal is discrete in the time domain, but its spectra, that is the frequency domain representation of this discrete time signal, is continuous in nature. Okay, so this is a very important thing to digest or understand in case of discrete time Fourier transform. The name is discrete time Fourier transform, but the nature of discrete time Fourier transform is continuous. Why it is called discrete time Fourier transform? It is called so because it is transforming discrete time signals. So the name discrete time has just come from discrete time signals, but the frequency domain representation of discrete time Fourier transform is continuous because omega variable is continuous. It is not discrete. Now we can have a discrete time signal here. It is a periodic signal. There are only 4 samples here. Now if you substitute this in this equation, Now our range, which was from minus infinity to infinity, will change from 0 to 3. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Now if you substitute, expand this equation, we will get this. So this is just the discrete time Fourier transform representation of this signal. So you have to just put into that equation and expand it, that's all. So this gives us the result for the discrete time representation of this discrete time aperiodic signal. Now sometimes the signal is given like this, 2 raised to n u of n, but if you see closely to this signal is not absolutely summable because it is a raised to n. This signal is a raised to n and a is greater than 1, and we can see that if you find the summation of this equation, then it is not absolutely summable. And Dirichlet condition states that in order to find out the Fourier transform, the signal should be absolutely summable if it is a discrete time signal, and it should be absolutely integrable if it is a continuous time signal. Now since this is a discrete time signal and it is not absolutely summable, the meaning of absolutely summable means if we take the summation of this signal, we are not going to get a finite value, because this is going to go on increasing exponentially and we are going to get infinite value. Hence, the signal which is not absolutely summable, its Fourier transform will not exist. So directly we can write the statement here that since this signal is not absolutely summable, hence the Fourier transform does not exist. Okay, but in this case, if it would have been 2 raised to minus n, something like that, we would have got the result, because it would be have been absolutely summable, because it is a decaying exponential, but here it is a growing exponential. Okay, so where if you take the summation of this a growing exponential signal over infinity, you will get infinity. Okay, so that this is the problem. So this gives us the problem for DTFT, that is, this is a signal but we cannot find out its Fourier transform, we cannot find out its frequency domain representation. Then how to find out the frequency domain representation of such a signal like 2 raised to n u of n? We have to go for a transform which we call it as the Z transform. So this is how Z transform is superior to Fourier transform. So those signals whose Fourier transform does not exist, there exists a Z transform. So you can find out the Z transform of this signal where we cannot find out the Fourier transform. So this is the difference, an important difference and an important superiority of Z transform over uh, Fourier transform. Just like Laplace transform over continuous time Fourier transform. Here we are seeing the discrete time signal, so it is Z transform and discrete time Fourier transform. Next, we can find out the numerical, we can find out the Fourier transform of this signal, which is a combination of two exponential signals. Okay, now look carefully here. Here, even though it is 2 raised to n, which is again same like this, but this is the difference, it is multiplied by u of minus n minus 1. So if you see this signal u of minus n minus 1, actually this signal is a non-causal signal. If you plot this signal u of minus n minus 1, you will get this signal as a decaying exponential signal. It is discrete time like this. Okay, so that's why if you compute this, you can get the Fourier transform of this signal. So don't get confused about all the exponential term. This is a causal signal, so it is existing, it is growing like this, since it is exponential and it is multiplied by u of n. But this signal, it is decaying, even though it is 2 raised to minus n, but here it will be like this because it is u of minus n. I have drawn it continuous, but it is actually a discrete. It is a discrete time signal. Okay, so here we can find out the Fourier transform. So if you substitute the equation, if you use the equation of Fourier transform, now we can see that this signal exists, u of minus and minus 1 exists for the interval from minus 1 to minus infinity. You can draw this signal and see, because we have seen these signals in the first unit, how to draw this signal. So you can draw the signal u of minus and minus 1. You will see that from minus 1 to infinity its value is 1. So 1 multiplied by 2 raised to n is 2 raised to n. So we can do this. Now you can club this and it is a raised to n. Okay, now you can do the adjustments here. Now you can apply the summation formulas for these two equations, the first summation formula, the second summation formula, and you can combine this to get this answer. So when you solve the numericals on discrete time Fourier transform, be very careful about the signal, whether it is absolutely summable or not. Okay, and the nature of the signal, how the signal is actually decaying or growing. Thank you.